have you here tonight for our little shindig. And the kids have worked so hard to get to this place. And I want to take just a minute to tell you who we are. We are ISI Homeschool Co-op, and this play involves the children of 8 different families. We meet once a week to learn together about God's world and our role in it. And the kids love it. That's the highlight of their week, is every week when we meet. And then one of the highlights of our year is doing a play. And every year we do a play that is related to the time period that we're studying. And this year we've been studying the 1800s. So this play is set in the Arizona Territory in the 1880s. As you can see in our program, we will have Act 1, which consists of 2 different scenes. And then there will be an intermission of 15 minutes. So during that intermission, that's just a chance for you to stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, get some water from the water fountain, whatever. Then we'll get started. The refreshments and the cookies and the 1919 root beer will be available for you following the show. So please plan to stay around for that. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I don't mind telling you, if I didn't know the mayor so well, I'd pay the mayor. It's also good for polishing furniture and dissolving rust.
Mayor Wolf likes money.
So do I.
Me too. That broke out, Professor.
Well, let me put it this way. If a trip to the Mexican border costs 10 cents, I wouldn't have enough to make it to the sidewalk.
That's broke.
I wrote my big brother in San Francisco and asked him for a loan. He's bound to help me.
When did you last trip with him?
Last week,
His answer won't be in this mailbag. Takes a couple of months, maybe, to get answers from San Francisco.
months.
Why don't you sell your medicine wagon?
Who'd buy it?
You know what happened to that?
The Undertaker?
He's always complaining his hearse is falling apart. Folks don't want to see the dearly departed riding in a message show wagon. All their red and gold paint and pictures of the things made shaking the tangerine. It wouldn't be decent.
Well, I am hungry.
Mayor says it's beans until you pay up.
Beans? For breakfast?
Lunch and dinner too, yes or no?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
Beans.
Miles in! There's no need to shout words. I figure I got to shout. Otherwise we won't get heard. Good morning, Professor Burns.
Howdy, Miss Julie.
Miss Delilah, if you see your father before I do, tell him a word. Happy to. Here's the mail. Why don't you leave it without my recession? Because the post office is like titling a buffalo drum. But I can't leave mail on the porch on account of offense against regulations. Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the glistening shadows softly come and go. Please, though my heart is weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes a love's old sweet song. Comes a love's old sweet song. I'm in splendid voice this morning if I do say so myself. Might as well say so. No one else is gonna. I appreciate pathetic ballads better than the romantic ones. In that case, you should be a happy woman, Miranda. What you said was truly pathetic. Thank you, Kurt. Professor, is that all you're having for breakfast?
Beggars can't be choosers.
I don't understand.
Don't concern yourself with the charity case, Julie.
Hey!
Charity case?
The professor's broke.
I'm expecting funds from my big brother any day now.
Any day now. I won't be coming through Tumbleweed for at least another 4 weeks.
I'm expecting funds from my big brother any week now.
Oh, I see. I better get back to the stagecoach. Got a passenger, and I reckon she was wondering where I am. When you see her on my reception, tell her I left the mailbag here.
Here? This isn't the post office.
The post office was locked. I'll take the mail over and wait for Elmira. I don't mind.
Julie,
Yes, Mother?
if you see that dreadful young prospector on the street, I forbid you to speak with him.
You mean Luther?
You know perfectly well who I mean. Luther, yes. With this rogue, I will not have penniless drifters casting soulful glances in my daughter's direction. I can tell he has eyes for you.
Luther's a nice young man.
Don't contradict your mother. In good society, it's considered impolite.
Well, I haven't seen Luther in days.
If only I could believe that. Being a mother and a concert artist is not easy.
Luther may have eyes for Miss Julie, but Miss Julie's got eyes for him too, you know.
Don't be insolent, Electra. Don't you have some ribs to air?
Yup.
Well, in that case, air them!
I'm going. You done with the beans, Professor?
Not yet.
That, I can assure you, is the last meal you'll be eating in this hotel, Professor.
Meal? You call this a meal? No salad, no beverage, no roll. This meal ain't fit for a condemned prisoner.
How interesting that you should mention the word prisoner. My husband and I are turning soup kitchen here, Professor Burns. We will have no truck with deadbeats. Pay up or face the music. Ah, music.
Did she call me a deadbeat?
She calls you a deadbeat.
The mayor is married to a dragon. A fire-breathing dragon.
Who sings? They're the worst kind.
They have no right to treat an honest man so shabbily.
Looks like we're in the same bug part, Professor.
How's that, Mr. Lila?
Call me Lily.
Say, I don't suppose you consider making a small loan, Lily. Not much, even a few silver dollars would help.
I'm as broke as you are.
What? You too? What about them jewels you're wearing?
Pace, I can make a bundle with cards and the dice, but the mayor says I have to have a license. He keeps promising the license, but it never appears. He's managed to get a lot of money out of me with his worthless promises. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's good. This is a weird town.
Gosh, Lily, if you think Tumbleweed is weird, why'd you come here? I mean, I didn't have a choice. My medicine wagon broke down on the town line.
Everywhere I went, I heard about this new boom town called Tumbleweed. I figured I'd get it on the ground floor. Instead, I'm stuck in the sand.
Where are the others, sir? What's all this about, Mayor? You'll soon find out. Miranda!
It's Mayor, the sheriff.
I better make myself scarce.
Danger, we're on great danger. I wish you'd stop saying that and tell me what the trouble be.
20 Mayor Oaks.
Trouble? You don't know the meaning of the word trouble. What's in that letter?
20 Terra Plunkett.
Letter? You call this a letter? Yeah, I call letters. What'd you call it? Disaster, ruin, calamity.
Nice weather we're having.
Miranda, I ain't never seen you like this, Mayor. You won't be so calm if you hear the news. Miranda! What news?
What is all the commotion out here? I don't allow loud conversation in the lobby!
It's unseemly.
Your husband is acting like a cuckoo clock.
Cuckoo clock.
Cuckoo clock, my foot.
Calm down, husband. You're making a spectacle of yourself.
Never mind about that. We've got more serious matters to deal with. Disaster, ruin, calamity.
I'll get the buy carbonated soda. It always relaxes your nervous stomach.
Thank you, trouble. I'm not a old man. What have I done to deserve this? If you ain't gonna explain what's ailing you, I better go back to the jail. It's time to feed my chickens. You shouldn't raise chickens in the jail. I cautioned you about that before. It doesn't look right. It's impossible to sleep this way. Family meetings don't
John Prescott will never come to Tumbleweed. That man is over 100 years old.
The trip from Boston will kill him.
No such luck.
Husband, that is no way to speak of our benefactor.
This letter was written to me by Cousin Horace.
Oh, how nice. How is dear Cousin Horace?
Never mind about that. Listen, dear Cousin Obadiah. I hate that name. The letter, just get on with it. I would like to let you know that John Prescott is sending an inspector your way. Inspector? He has instructions to investigate the progress at Tumbleweed. What progress? John Prescott wants to make sure his money is being well spent. As you know, he considers having Tumbleweed the territorial capital of sound business investments.
What are we going to do, Opie? I feel faint. Faint at home, not here.
I must warn you that the inspector will try to pass himself off as an ordinary traveler. I suggest you take every precaution. I believe it's actually an operative from the Pinkerton Detective Agency. Detective Agency? Pinkerton agents are bloodhounds. Once they sink their teeth in, they never let go. This is the scary part. He should be there any day now, unless he is already in Tumbleweed incognito.
And what?
Incognito.
Sounds vulgar to me.
It means the agent will come to Tumbleweed in disguise. We won't know who he is.
What will happen when he gets the agent's report?
We might all end up behind bars. We've got to make the town look as good as we can. Doc flew the guy in the hospital. No patients, just some drifters and some desert homes. I rent them a flat for 2 beds.
What will happen when he finds out our medical establishment is actually a horse doctor kicked out of Texas for incompetence?
I resent that. I was never kicked out of Texas for incompetence. It was Arkansas.
Please, please, put clean sheets on the hospital beds. Sweep the floor. The last time I was there, the place disgusted me. It was like a kennel with all those yakking dogs running around.
I like dogs. And you get rid of the chickens. And some prisoners. Where did I find them? Use some of the chimps who've been sleeping at the hospital. They don't care where they go. Good idea, Joe. Thanks. Harry, prove your town planning engineer. Get out some blueprints and scout over your desk.
I know how to look busy.
What will I say about the school? There's no roof, and the people only show up when they feel like it.
There's no roof because you use the money for yourself. And the students only show up when they feel like it because they know you're practically illiterate.
You only say that because your daughters are dumbbells.
How dare you? You can't insult my girls.
Let's keep our rides on the main road. Fortunately, I've been writing up a proposal to point out one and all why Tumbleweed will make the ideal territorial capital. Since I don't have anything else to do, helps pass the time. Excellent. That will impress the Snoop.
Unless he finds out lawyer Maxwell was disbarred from practice.
We must see that
I don't believe a convicted felon can legally hold the position of a postmaster.
I presume you're referring to the misunderstanding with the forged check in Ohio.
Precisely.
I admit I did a terrible thing. I was young and foolish and needed money. But unless someone tells him, the Pinkerton man he'd never know. We must make a good impression on the fellow. The report he sends back to Boston must say everything is progressing nicely. Ha! Relax. Would you like to find yourself a job? There's always room for motorcycles.
Husband, if that letter is 2 months old,
It is.
then the Pinkerton man must already be here. The letter said he'd be here at any day.
months ago. She's right.
Any strangers in town?
The drifters don't stay long in and out.
I haven't found anyone.
Wait, I know who he is.
Who?
Who's been hanging around town for the last few weeks.
Of course, it has to be him.
Who?
The medicine show man.
Professor Burns?
Why, he's completely penniless, and his medicine show doesn't even exist. All he has is a bag of painted red and some bio-stuffed bottles.
Naturally, a perfect cover. You wouldn't expect some Pinkerton agent to show up as himself.
Clever young man.
Good heavens. I was going to have him arrested. I was going to kick him out of the hotel.
I was mean to him. He only had beans for breakfast.
His report to Boston will be basic. Everyone's family, we must pull together. Clean up the town, sweep, dust, polish. That won't be enough. It's a start. Put on a happy face. Everybody smile.
I wonder where the professor can be.
He must be found.
If you're looking for Professor Burns, I think you'll find him in the town hall.
What town hall?
There is no town hall.
Just a hole in the ground he was dug 2 years ago. Why are we standing around flat drawing? There's work to be done.
Sink or swim.
Win or lose.
Up or down?
Which way on the feet?
We hang together or we hang separately. What's it to be?
Separately! Separately? We mean together. One for all.
All for one.
In that case, sure.
Obadiah, your nervous stomach.
Things don't look so good. I'll talk. I know how to deal with Pinkerton men. I was a good horse doctor. I'll go to school.
I'll tell him the town hall is waiting for Marlo from Italy.
I'll invite him to dinner.
We'll consider him one of the family. All his nice mistakes. What will I say about the schoolroom?
You like the hotel, Miss Blackwater? They said good table.
Indeed.
Nice and clean, too.
I should hope so, such an inconvenience.
Hey, Miranda. Dingling, dingling. How about some goodness?
This, I assume, is the lobby?
That it is, Miss Blackwater. That it is.
It's not the Palace Hotel in Baltimore, but I suppose I could do a one night here.
That tumbleweed ain't so bad. I've seen worse. Of course, I realize you're used to the big city and such.
What a pity I couldn't have taken the train all the way to my destination.
You're in the Wild West now. Person got to make do with what's what.
I suppose.
Where is everyone? Hey!
Must you make so much noise?
Got to be heard, don't I?
I abhor raucous behavior.
So do I. Wait, what's that, honey? Rockets?
Jingling, jingling, I'm here.
No doubt Tumbleweed will be populated by rustics.
Nope, most of the folks here is American.
You still in town, Bert?
Naturally, I'm still in town. I'm staying here, ain't I?
So dry and dusty. I've been inhaling the dirt of the road for almost a day and a half.
That'd be my lone passenger over there. This is favorite.
I'm visiting my daughter. She's married to Major Diamondfoot. One day he'll be a general, maybe even president.
She had to leave the train out too, sorry.
Here in the Wild West, things seem to start, stop, stop. A touch of civilization, and then tumbleweed.
I reckon.
You still in town, Bert?
No! This ain't me! It's somebody else!
The strangest thing. I saw a mob of people racing toward that big hole in the ground. You mean where the town hall's supposed to be? Yes.
Maybe somebody fell in. Didn't have nothing better to do. Here's a strong box of medicine. Forgot to bring it in with the mail bag before. I always write it under my seat.
Daddy will be so pleased. There's nothing like a strong box from Boston to make him smile.
That'd be my lone passenger over there. Mrs. Baker. She's bound for Fort Bravo.
A long journey.
I'm visiting my daughter.
Her daughter's married to Major Diamondback.
His name is Diamondfoot.
He could be president one day.
She's gonna need a room from that Jolie on account of my race, little weed, and I ain't got no spare. Blacksmith says have her repair from home and give me a clock She can stay here.
The hospital?
I'm sure we can make you comfortable, Mrs. Baywater. I'm Julia. My parents run this hotel. Julie's father's the mayor.
The mayor? How nice. I always get along well with elected politicians. I'll enjoy meeting your Potter, Julie.
Potter? You don't mean Potter, Miss Baywater. You mean Papa.
I'm over here, I know to the blacksmith, so see how he's getting along. I don't want him fixing that little big glue.
We'll take good care of Mrs. Baywater.
You stand there.
If you'd be kind enough to sign the register, Mrs. Baywater.
Certainly.
There's plenty of free aid to use all you want. I opened all the bedroom windows to let fresh air. Don't be afraid to breathe deep.
I should like a bath.
No problem. Creek's out back. I'll get you a big towel.
Creek? Big towel? You expect me to bathe in an outdoor creek?
I'm afraid we don't have an indoor creek.
How barbaric! Tumbleweed is the last stop to nowhere.
The next time I know her, Miss Baywater, it's Dead Man's Gulch.
How distasteful! Dead Man's Gulch.
Mother will be so pleased. You're from Baltimore. Mother will be so pleased. We've never had anyone from Baltimore staying here before.
That is not surprising. I should like to be shown to my room.
Electra, give Mrs. Baywater the room with the rug. Follow me, lady.
My luggage is on the stagecoach.
I'll see to it.
Thank you, Julie. You're a charming young lady. How fortunate to pin away in Tumbleweed. One day you'll make some young man a happy husband.
I will if his name is Luther.
Luther? Who's Luther? Miss Julie!
That's Luther.
In that case, I'll leave you to them. He reminds me of someone. Who am I thinking of? Miss Julie! Miss Julie!
Luther.
Miss Julie!
Luther, you shouldn't be here.
Miss Julie!
If Father saw you, there could be a scene.
Forgive me, Miss Julie, but I couldn't stay away another moment. I've been out there on the desert digging for gold for the past 5 days. Every time I turned over a shovel full of sand, I saw your face. It's the only thing that keeps a man going.
Oh, Luther.
Give a thirsty man a kiss, Miss Julie.
I couldn't. Someone might see us.
What do I care? I want the whole world to know that one day I plan to marry Miss Julie Oates of Tumbleweed, Arizona.
What if Mother saw you come in?
What if she did? I'm not scared of your mother. Well, not too much anyways. My heart's beating like a ripe tomato ready to burst.
Oh.
I'm begging for that kiss, Miss Julie.
Well, I've always been kind to beggars. Very well, that one kiss could make it breathe.
Thank you, Miss Julie. That kiss will inspire me on my quest for desert gold.
Look, Antoinette, lovebird. We've been discovered.
Why don't you knock before you come into a room?
Why should we not? This is the lobby of our public hotel. The door's always open, night and day. Besides, we know you're sweet on Miss Julie. And we know Miss Julie is sweet on you.
I've seen you girls before.
The Dobbs sisters. Their father is a town planner.
I know him.
Daddy's going to make Tumbleweed the finest town area. He's been saying that for years. Daddy says we have to be patient. Daddy said patience is its own reward.
If patience is its own reward, then Tumbleweed is rich. I've never seen a town that took so long to get built.
Why are you girls in school? There's no roof on the schoolhouse. There hasn't been a roof on the schoolhouse for years, but Miss Gratchen still conducts classes.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yes, but there's storm clouds in the sky. And who wants to stay in a stupid school and get all wet? Besides, you're supposed to meet Mommy and Daddy here. We will eat lunch in the hotel dining room. And I'm going to have 2 pieces of peach pie. Next month is my birthday.
Why don't you go in and pick out a nice table?
You just want to get rid of us. We'll colonize each other. This is bad, Luther.
What?
Tilly and Antoinette Dobbs are terrible little gossips. They'll tell everyone you kissed my hand.
That's nothing to be ashamed of, Miss Julie. My love for you is unblemished.
Mother
penniless drifter.
That may be true, but one day I will strike it rich. Your mother sure is shy with compliments.
Luther,
Yes, Miss Julie.
may I ask a question?
Anytime.
What's a road? Morning, Miss Julie. Morning, Luther Haskins. I reckon you know Luther. All prospectors and desert rats look alike to me. He's younger and better looking than most. I'll give you that. Julie, the other day when your mother was in my general store, did she borrow something again, Luther Haskins? Well, as a matter of fact, she did. She borrowed a hat with an ostrich feather, an embroidered traveling cloak, a pair of shoes with silver buckles, gloves, a Italian brooch, a string of imitation pearls, a dozen hand towels, and of course that was the stays.
That's a lot to borrow.
Your father borrowed a pair of shoe spats, 2 neckties and some trousers, 2 pairs of Italian socks, one pair black, one pair brown, also a pair of London boots, a box of cigars, and a walking stick.
That's not borrowing, Widow Haskins. That's pillaging.
You said it, I did. Julie, dear, please tell your parents that when they're finished with those items, I'd like them back. I like to sell things when they look good, new and unused. They must have forgotten to return those things, Widow Haskins. It must have slipped their minds. Yes, I'm sure that's what happened. Miss Maywan don't think much of a room. I pointed out the blue wallpaper, but I guess she's used to more fancy surroundings. A visitor from Baltimore came in on the stage. All the way from Baltimore? Imagine. Better get ready for lunch. We've already got customers. This early? Who? Sentiment, no tell dogs. Why aren't they in school? Not that they learned much from Miss Crabtree. The other day I asked her where the Declaration of Independence was signed, and she said on the bottom. As you know, there's no roof on the schoolhouse, and it looks like rain. Rain. That reminds me. Mrs. Maywan wants fresh water. She says the water in the room pitcher looks cold.
What in tarnation?
Looks like half the town in the street. Why, there's your father and mother, Julie. Together in the street? That is unusual. I see the sheriff and the doctor and even Miss Crabtree. I think your father's wearing the suit he borrowed last month. Hi, some excitement.
Come on, let's see what's causing all the ruckus. We'll miss the hoopla.
Excitement is rare in Tumbleweed.
I think that means shoot out of licked. It sheds. Not only that, I lose some of it every single time I sneeze.
Professor?
You address me, Lynn?
Yes, stop. Garbage.
Okay, I'm listening.
Listen good. It's just like I figured. Everyone who works for this town is a crook.
A crook?
The mayor, the doc, the undertaker, the postmistress. The whole lot. You got any proof? I overheard them in a minute. The mayor called a meeting because some Pinkerton agent is investigating Tumbleweed. They think you're him.
Who?
I just told you, some Pinkerton agent. Here's what you gotta do. Go along with the gag. Since they think you're the Pinkerton man, they can be played for suckers. I've been treated badly, and so have you.
That's true, I've got my pride.
Seems some old guy back in Boston by the name of John Prescott has been feeding Mayor Oates money to build up Tumbleweed. The mayor's been stuffing the dough in his own pockets, that is. What he don't pay out to his relatives.
Relatives?
They're all related. The whole pack. Kids and cousins.
Well, what do you know?
Working right, and we both will have enough money to get us out of this sand trap town.
I wonder if I can pull it off.
If you can sell that smelly snake oil you got in bottles, you can sell anything.
You're right, Lily. I'd still be working if my Indian princess hadn't went off with the piano player and the dancing bear.
Will you forget about the dancing bear? If we play our cards right, I'll go back to Seattle, in style. And you'll have enough to buy a whole circus.
been treated unjustly.
Look at it this way, Professor. If you don't play along, what's the alternative?
Beans in jail. You won't like jail. I don't like beans either. I'll do it.
Jackpot! All you have to do is string them along. They'll do the rest. They're a bunch of chicken heads.
The mayor was going to kick me out of the hotel for a few lousy dollars. He took your money and didn't give you anything in return.
I told you, he's a crook. They're all crooks. Get busy.
Paper and pen? What's this for?
Write something. That'll make them nervous. The more nervous we keep them, the better for us.
Yeah,
We're in this together, Professor.
it's a deal.
Hey, are you sure, Julie? You're coming back. Start writing.
Leave it to me.
It looks just like him. Let me do the talking.
Dear Mr. President, I wish I could write a good report regarding the situation here in Tumbleweed. The truth is,
My dear fellow, my dear friend.
you mean me?
Why didn't you tell us who you were? Yeah, nothing to hide.
We're all honest people.
Honest as the day is long.
Longer, even. You have to excuse me. I want to finish this letter. I want it to go on stage first thing in the morning.
I knew who you were all along. I did. Didn't I, Julie? Julie, I'm forbidding you to have anything to do with that prospector. It's a free country. My daughter deserves better than you.
I forget about Mr. Miranda. We got bigger fish to fry.
So, just who do you people think I am?
A painted man. I can always tell a painted man when I see one. Not only that, I read in the letter that said he was coming.
Now you've let the cat out of the bag.
I guess it doesn't matter that you know who I am. I've been sent here by John Prescott. Oh, that's right, John Prescott.
I'm told he's a lovely man. Kind, thoughtful, and considerate. And holy cow, so. There is no need for secrecy. That's the way Pinkerton men work. I hope you enjoyed me too, Hersey. You probably noticed the hospital is filled with derelicts. I can explain that. Them chickens in the jail don't belong to me. About the missing roof on the schoolhouse.
There's a good reason why the town hall hasn't been built.
Everybody, please. You'll only confuse Professor Burns. We just want you to take back a good impression of us.
We may be removed from society, but we are not uncivilized baboons.
Let me be frank with you.
I thought your name was Tom.
I have no money because the people I hired to work with me in the medicine wagon turned out to be thieves.
Thieves? If there's anything I can't about, it's a thief. William Shakespeare says it best. He who steals trash steals my name, and he who steals my name gets trash. Or something like that. I think I read that in the letter.
Anyways, they stole everything, including Wallace.
Wallace?
The dancing bear. You see, John Prescott had interest in several towns in the territory. Naturally, I needed a good cover for traveling from one town to another.
Say no more. As a lawman, I understand the need for traveling incognito.
I couldn't pay my hotel bill if I wanted to.
Michelle, what's money?
A bit of paper, a piece of silver.
Money is everything when you don't have any. For instance, how am I supposed to pay for my hotel bill?
Don't give it another thought. You're our guest. We wouldn't think of charging you a penny.
Tumbleweed is noted for its hospitality.
Friendliest town in the Wild West. Since when? Money, you need money. Compared to friendship, money is nothing. Here,
Oh, I couldn't.
I insist.
I'll consider it a small loan.
notice there's no platoon.
Oh, I don't want to put you out.
Don't even put it out. No matter, as I say in Spanish, aquí estás en casa.
What's that mean?
My house is your house.
Please, you must take the apartment. We insist.
Since you put it that way.
Wonderful. We'll have lemonade and claret and chocolate cake. All even entertained by singing a ballad. Let's see. What shall I sing? I know. I'll sing Memphis, that golden above.
Is that a romantic or pathetic?
Ignore that one, Professor. She has no clue. As you know, she's a gambling woman from Seattle. I don't approve of gambling. Have nothing to do with her. Everyone, a little welcoming party for our good friend and distinguished visitor from Boston.
Professor Tom Burns.
Pinkerton man.
Hooray!
I really ought to finish this report.
Nonsense, good sir. Plenty of time for that later. It's time to formally welcome you to Tumbleweed.
Adios, incognito.
Always a pleasure to meet a Pinkerton man. How long, Buxton? That year's welcome to Tumbleweed, Professor. Yummy, my soul, nice mistakes.
Anything I can do to help, just ask.
How nice they get here.
Perhaps you can teach my pupils. How about some free stamps?
Since makes the heart grow wounded, that is why I long for you. Lonely through the nights I wonder, wondering, darling, if you're true. Distant islands enchantment, though the ocean waves divide. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, longing to be near your side. If I had a name there, Oates, I would be a famous concert artist. Maybe even a famous opera star, surrounded by adoring fans, idolized by the critics.
What makes you think that?
You've heard me sing.
That's why I asked.
Isn't it exciting? Isn't what exciting, Victoria? Haven't you heard?
Heard what?
How about the professor? The sooner Professor Burns leaves Tumbleweed, the better it will be for all of us.
Not unless he leaves without a good report.
The mayor is giving him a personally guided tour of the town. That's not what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Professor Burns isn't a professor at all.
That's hardly news, Victoria.
The professor's title is part of his incognito.
You heard the sheriff. That's how Pinkerton men work.
He's not a Pinkerton agent. Nonsense.
Not a Pinkerton agent.
No. You don't mean he actually is a medicine show huckster? No. He's been sent from Boston to investigate Tumbleweed, all right, but he's not a Pinkerton agent. Not a Pinkerton agent, and not a medicine show huckster?
Then who is he?
You're going to love this. He's John Prescott's nephew. Nephew? I thought that would surprise you. Why, he's the heir to a huge fortune. And, you know that, he's a lucky girl who wins him. Indeed. I've noticed him looking at Julie more than once.
Julie might have something to say about it.
Julie's too young to know her own mind. Mother knows best. Oh, Tilly and Jeanette!
Here we are, Mama. Right behind you.
Don't startle me. Never mind that. Hurry home and put some ribbons in your hair.
Why? Tilly's birthday isn't until next month.
I'm not talking about the Tilly's birthday. I want each of you to look your best as Professor Burns.
Professor Bird. Who cares about him? He's a Pinkerton agent.
He's not a Pinkerton agent. He's a rich young man of quality and refinement.
Since when?
Get rid of those lollipops and don't giggle when you see him. I want each of you to use some sports perfume.
generous.
Perfume? You never let us use perfume. You said we couldn't use it till we're older.
You're old enough. Now run along.
Oh boy, perfume.
Don't drop the bottle, and don't forget the ribbons.
The very idea.
What?
You know what?
You're trying to fuck those frauds in the hopes Professor Brains will take notice. You're pulling one of them off.
As your mother, I want my daughters to marry well.
By well, you mean the nephew of John Prescott? For shame! Those girls are still children.
Even if they have been in fourth grade for 4 years.
They're older than they look. And besides, my mother married when she was only 13.
And look at the result.
Never mind that. I better go help with the girls with the ribbons. How old was Julia when she planned to marry Romeo?
Romeo who?
You know Shakespeare?
Oh yes, Romeo Shakespeare. I've forgotten for a moment.
You're a horrible school teacher of poetry.
I do the best I can, considering there is no real school.
And whose fault is that? I better go help the girls with the ribbons. They're rather funky when it comes to fashion.
You can dress up a monkey, but it is still a monkey! Well, that's besides the nephew of John Prescott.
I hope your husband can convince him all is well come.
Never.
Now to notice is not much better.
Never mind about that. He'll make the ideal husband for Julie.
Julie will have something to say about that.
He'll take Julie back to Boston. My husband and I will visit them often. Culture! Culture!
Sure at us. Stop it. I wouldn't cut it, of course. I would have my chickens until I counted them. I would build bridges if I came.
Never mind her. So much to do. Romance. Romance always needs a push. Ah, this is Baywater. Out for a stroll. See the town.
There's not much to see, is there?
Come back in a year or two, and you'll see a big change in Tumbleweed.
Any change would be an improvement.
I'm working with my husband and the town engineer to build an opera house. I consider myself the town's leading social force. I sing, you know. I have my voice. But then, we were all good voices, living in Baltimore.
Son,
How I envy you.
been looking everywhere for the stagecoach driver.
Have you tried the hospitals?
Couldn't get near the front door. Barking dogs everywhere. I'm afraid of things.
Don't you worry. Gert will turn up.
Someone mention my name?
Here's your passenger.
It's almost noon.
Yep, I reckon it is.
You said to leave first thing this morning.
Can't leave till the blacksmith says the wheel's fixed.
When will that be?
I figure about 4 this afternoon.
What? I have to wait 4 more hours in this Baywater?
I mean,
Backwater?
see if that walks before dry well. I wouldn't advise it. Scorpions don't eat you. Rats make you wheel.
How awful!
Don't you fret, Mrs. Baywater. Come back to the hotel with me. We'll have tea. I'd love to hear news from Baltimore.
So would I.
Office Max on your water.
Once she may have had a voice, but she's lost it somewhere along the way.
You have to admire her, ain't you? She don't go so good. She's persistent. Sage leave that core.
Why did my daughter have to marry a soldier living out in the Wild West?
All right, Luther, I'll ask your mother, but I fear she won't give her consent. The road of love is bumpy.
I'll speak to your father.
Do you think that is wise? This isn't a good time. He has so much on his mind.
You mean that Pinkerton man from Boston?
Haven't you heard? He's not a Pinkerton man from Boston. He's not a Pinkerton man at all. He's John Prescott's nephew.
You don't say.
Living here all this time and never letting on. Now that's incognito. We're waiting to speak with the professor. Who's waiting? Your relative, Brenda. I'm sure you'll agree things take time.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Well, it was.
bowl of tumbleweed by its horns.
I'm so worried.
You trot along, sweetheart. I'll deal with your father, man to man.
You mean desert rat to mayor?
There's no shame in being an honest desert rat.
Whatever. Try not to quarrel. There have been some problems, naturally.
Oh?
Excuse me, Professor. There are people in the dining room waiting to see you.
Who?
Everyone, I guess. Tell them to wait. Daddy, they won't like it. You heard me. Whatever you say.
Mayor Oaks, it's about me and Miss Julie.
What's the matter with you, Luther? Can't you see I'm busy? Sit over here, Professor. Let me fluff your pillow. Comfy?
It'll do.
I'm sorry that Rooster affected you. I would mean to get rid of him. He's getting ornery.
I thought you said chickens didn't belong to you.
They don't. I'm taking care of them for a sick friend.
Chickens in the jailhouse and dogs running around in the hospital. It does seem a bit odd.
Mayor Oaks, I'd like a few words with you.
What? You still here? Show some consideration.
The blueprints Mr. Dobbs showed me are quite impressive, but I don't see any of the buildings. We mustn't forget my uncle has been sending you money for several years now, long enough for a small metropolis to blossom.
I was hoping to spare you this. We both were. I would have mentioned it to your uncle, but at his advanced age, I feared the worst. Heart attack, stroke, who can say? The shock would be considerable. What is it? We've lost much of the money since on by your dear uncle.
Lost?
Not in the way you might think. Not for mismanagement and that sort of thing.
Then how did you lose it?
The Kansas City Kid.
Mayor Oaks, about my license for a game of chance.
I'm working on it, day and night. However, you'll have to pay me an additional fee. Paperwork is expensive.
I paid you so much already.
A mere detail. Women never understand these matters. We'll discuss it later, Miss Lilac.
I get that license, or don't I?
You'll get that license when you pay me that. Now, if you excuse me, I've got more serious matters to deal with. Mayor Oaks has got business with the professor.
In that case, I'll leave you to your business. I don't think so going well, Professor Burns.
You might say I'm making progress.
Good.
So, who is this Kansas City Kid?
He's a notorious outlaw, a bandit, a highwayman.
Are you telling me this Kansas City Kid has taken money intended for Tumbleweed?
I'm afraid so.
Why don't you arrest him?
He's not easy to catch. His whirlwind distracts. We've been robbed several times, usually with the stagecoach, but not always. The mayor left me more. My own money.
What's he look like?
Nobody knows. Always wears a bandana to cover his face and a hat without no pizzazz. We could have had the Tumbleweed completed long before if it weren't for the Kansas City Kid.
You should have informed my uncle. He would have sent in the federal marshals.
That's the last thing I want. It would undermine his faith in my capability. No federal marshals in Tumbleweed. That's my motto.
But you can't allow this Kansas City Kid to wander in and out, taking what doesn't belong to him.
We can deal with him. I just wanted you to know I can progress so slowly.
This is serious. My hands are dirty. Must have soiled them when I picked up that litter of puppies. I'll wash them if you don't mind. Got a thing against dirty hands. Won't be long.
Don't be afraid to use as many hand towels as you want. They're borrowed.
This won't take long, Mayor Oaks.
How did the tour go? Is he suspicious? Did he ask any questions?
How long does he stand?
Did he repeat what you told him? He gets him out of school. Do you like my steaks? Quiet! Can't hear myself think. What was all that foolishness about something called Kansas City? to me. It's a brilliant idea if I do say so myself. The idea is okay, but I'm not sure I believe you. I've already considered the possibility. The professor might be suspicious about the Kansas City kid, so the Kansas City kid will make an appearance. What? Be quiet! He'll rob the strong box, and Professor Burns will see him do it.
But there is no Kansas City kid.
There will be. We'll draw straws. Whoever gets the long straw will impersonate the Kansas City kid. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad? It's a stroke of genius. Naturally, I would draw. More will to share. It has to be someone he's not too familiar with. Draw. Who's got the long straw? I do. I'm not a reception to Kansas City. No way.
That won't work.
I'm willing.
That's not the point. It has to look convincing.
I'm not rolled up that she never does. Who's got the next longest straw? Multiple straws? I do. You're the Kansas City kid, Gilroy. I'm a politician. You're also the Kansas City kid. I don't know what to do. How to do it. No. You drew the straw. You're it. Wow. Go outside and get ready. Won't do that. No. I'd be too scared. You'll do it. He's coming back.
Don't argue with me, Julie. My mind is made up.
But I don't want to marry Professor Burns.
We'll talk about that later. First things first, we must face the trap. Sit on the sofa and look at Becky. Don't call him Professor. Call him Tom or Tommy.
Where's the mayor?
Ah, Tom. There you are. Julie and I were just discussing you. You have no idea how much she admires you.
She does?
She's always talking about you.
She is.
Men seldom notice these things. What a pity you've never married. I always say a man without a wife is a sad creature, no better than a lonely coyote, howling at the moon. Fortunately, there are ways to rescue him.
The coyote?
The bachelor.
And how are you going to rescue him?
Marriage, Tom! Marriage!
Who wants to marry me?
Such a wit! Did you hear what Tommy said, Julie? I heard. You and Julie must get to know one another better. Would it be alright if I went to the apartment for a few moments? I need a few things.
Be my guest.
Julie, dear, why are you sitting so far from Tom? He'll think you don't like him. She's a shy little thing.
I hope you're enjoying your stay in Tumbleweed, Professor. I mean, Tom.
I can honestly say my stay is turning out to be quite profitable.
You may not realize it, but my mother's throwing me at you and I don't like it. When I marry, I'll marry for love.
Marrying for love's a pretty good idea.
If you'll excuse me.
Julie, come back.
No.
I hope it wasn't anything I said.
Oh, these modern girls. What did they know about anything? If only I were 20 or 10 years younger and got married. I look for a rich, cultured man, just like you.
I am cultured.
You're full of culture, I can tell.
Rich?
I never hold that against a man.
Young.
Ah, to be young again.
I've always admired women who sing.
Professor, please. You're making blush.
It's unfortunate you're not a widow. Otherwise, you and I. Who knows?
Professor, how could you? You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
Jeez.
Professor. As a matter of fact, we'd all like to work with you. And try this.
I can take a hint. You don't have to hit me with a hammer. Ignore Julie's little outburst tone. She's always been emotional, but her feelings for you are genuine. I've never been to Boston.
What others are you talking about, Mr. Dobbs?
Laura Maxwell, Doc Snipes.
Listen to you one at a time. I don't like people bunching up.
Of course. When you return to Boston and report to your uncle, I wonder if you might put another word for me. Mention my movements. You might hint that my work is progress in, how should I put it? Youth.
That's something of an overstatement, isn't it? What's this?
What's what?
This money on the table.
It's not mine. It must be yours, Professor. Why don't you put it in your pocket?
Why don't I? Send in Lord Maxwell.
My pleasure.
Short and to the point.
How wonderful. You're welcome.
Seems that way. What can I do for you?
I wouldn't want Mary Rose's life for myself.
Be brief. Others are waiting.
Please set it up. Something must be done about the mayor's wife.
Miranda,
She takes things. So does the mayor.
they're thieves.
They don't steal the best exactly. They borrow. Sometimes I forget to return them. Whenever the mayor's wife comes into my shop, I have to hide all the goods there. Otherwise, she'll have to borrow. There's no profit when people borrow. You can't buy. If only I knew that I lost it. Do something about the situation.
I'll see what I can do.
I'll give you a piece of chocolate.
I'm a busy man. Busy. Next!
You're a good man, I can tell. I suppose you discovered that that's about as far as an artist is on. Still, I am an expert when it comes to shopping babies and would we kept saying this was on the other? Not many girls that said it like muted less to mention my lack of production here on those things. Have a full of
500 would sound a lot better.
500 is. That will leave me broke. This is good.
I'll see the doc next.
I'll tell.
The Winter Haskins situation, Professor, we just saw on the boardwalk. I don't believe you've ever met my lovely daughters, Ottilie, and this is her sister, Antoinette. Say hello to the professor, girls.
Hello, Professor.
This is lovely Ottilie and her sister.
Let me guess. Lovely Antoinette. Whoops.
You're not supposed to giggle.
That hurt.
What's that smell?
It's perfume. Mom said to go heavy on the squirts.
I'm allergic to perfume.
It's not easy to find roles like girls in Tumbleweed, suitable bachelors and few and far between.
I thought you were alone, Professor.
I am.
I can see that you're busy. I won't take any more of your time.
Time is money.
I want to invite you to dinner this evening.
We're having rice pudding for dessert with raisins. You can have seconds if you want.
I'll let you know.
I'll take that as a definite yes. Say thank you to the professor, girls.
Thank you, Professor Girls.
I wish you had two more just like him.
Be careful of them females, Professor. Marrying favorites in the air.
Because he was out the whole town listening.
So has everyone else.
I know the post office ain't running as big as it could. But I've had some problems. So have I. That's why the school's on high graduate. But I'd appreciate it if your uncle never heard about that. And please don't tell him I read other people's mail.
I hope you ladies wouldn't find me too bold as asking you to extend me a small loan. After all, I was stranded in Tumbleweed without funds.
Poor man. Here, this might help.
Folding money only. No small change if you don't mind.
Whatever you say, you're the professor. Come into the dining room, Professor. We'll have a nice glass of fresh grill.
Sounds nice. I'll be along in a moment. As long as you're buying.
Sure. One more wait. Bob! Everything, Professor.
Howdy, Bob. What can I do for you?
Well, it turns out some beef cattle ended up on the land that they farmed.
So, finders keepers. That's what I always say. You can't keep cattle from wandering. I always say that too.
Yeah, except the wander through a hole in the fence that I cut and back so it doesn't open.
Oh, I see.
So just a bit of your hat, right?
Well, it would help if I could afford a nicer hat.
Well, for me, I can help that here like this.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Sure you can, and I'm much obliged to you for that.
Looks good. Looks great. Ah, Lily, you have no idea. They can't wait to bribe me. They think everyone's as crooked as they are. They're tripping over each other to give me money. Their last pennies. See?
I'm impressed.
Another day or two and we'll be as rich as King Midas. That's good because I don't have a big brother in San Francisco. I don't have a big brother anywhere.
You're right. Staying could be dangerous. You mustn't push your luck. We'll be on the stage when it pulls out.
Oh, I guess. I suppose you're right. What? The mayor's got some money in the desk drawer. I'll take that too.
I'll bet. Can you believe it? Mayor Oates tried to hold me up again. Greedy man.
They're all greedy. What will they say when they see me leaving on the stage? I know. I'll tell them I have to investigate some other towns. That way they won't be suspicious.
Good thinking. Time's getting short.
Looks like a dust storm on the horizon.
Mayor, I've been meaning to tell you. I'll be leaving Tumbleweed soon.
Leaving? Oh, that is hard news. Everybody in here, please. Yes? Yes? What's on? What's going on? What is going on? Hush up, hush up. I just wanted to let you know that the professor will be leaving us soon.
I'm afraid the mayor misunderstood. I'm not leaving Tumbleweed for good. I have to investigate some other towns. But I'll be back in Tumbleweed in about a week or so.
Oh, that is good news. Julie will be so pleased. Stay in
We've just been robbed.
I'll explain it to you later. There's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about? Have you all lost your senses?
If I didn't know Gilroy under that bandana hat, I'd never would bet. Did you see the professor dive from cover?
Like a kangaroo rat in the burrow.
Hands up! Don't anybody move! This is a stick-up. I'm against syndicate non-main business. Where's that skybox from Boston? Give that up!
What's this?
Oh. Harry, you've ruined everything! You Kansas City kid? How's that possible? Gilroy needed help and Nasa got it. Wait, what do you mean two Kansas City kids? He was in here a few moments ago, and he took the strongbox. Who? The first Kansas City kid. That's not possible. Why? Because the Kansas City kid don't exist!
In that case, who took the strong box?
I thought I recognized the kid. Which one? The first one. The one who took the strong box. I thought he handled himself too good to be Gilroy. I resent that. If you think you know who the bandit is, tell us. Yeah, tell us.
See for yourself.
Luther.
That's right. Luther the prospector. Luther the desert rat.
And now I see you're also Luther the bandit. I am not surprised. Aren't you ashamed of yourself?
I heard you and Sheriff plotting, Mayor. I heard you schemed to invent a bandit called the Kansas City Kid. So I thought I'd beat you to the punch. I can assure you, the strongbox from Boston is in safe hands. Mine.
Well, what gives you the right to take things that aren't yours?
Perhaps it would help matters if I introduced myself properly.
Why bother? We all know who you are.
You only think you do. I am Luther John Prescott III. John Prescott is my grandfather.
Impossible. That's what you don't know.
No.
Luther, can this be true?
I've never told a lie in my life before, Miss Julie. I don't intend to start now. I was the agent sent, incognito, to investigate Tumbleweed.
There's that word again. I feel like Sleeping Beauty waking from a dream. You mean John Prescott sent his grandson and his nephew? Luther's been out in the sun too long.
Posing as a prospector was the best way to see things as they really are in Tumbleweed.
You can't be John Prescott's grandson. The idea is absurd.
Miranda's right. It's absurd. You can't be related to John Prescott.
I am.
Liar.
What an, I can't imagine seeing you here in Tumbleweed. How delightful! How special!
You know this sombre?
Of course I do. He's Luther John Prescott III of the Boston Prescotts. I thought I recognized you before, but I couldn't quite place you in that ridiculous prospect together. What on earth are you doing here, Luther?
Well, I'm on a mission for my grandfather.
How is dear John?
Old.
All aboard!
What a pity I have to leave visiting my daughter at Fort Driver. When you see our dear grandpa, give him my best.
I'd be happy to, Miss Baywater.
Until we meet again, Luther. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Miss Baywater.
Au revoir, mon ami.
Adios. I've always said Luther had lots of potential. Haven't I always said that, Julie?
Those are present relatives I never would have thought.
I can assure you, the professor is no relation of mine.
But he's great grandfather. In
lied.
But I gave him several $100. What did I?
You've been swindled by the proprietor of a medicine show. He was strictly snake oil.
Who said he was the Pinkerton man? You did. This is all your fault.
It wasn't me, it was him.
That's better. Now listen carefully, all of you. You're all going to have to work hard to make up for the money you've taken unfairly. You and your wife can still run the hotel, but for a tiny salary. There will be no more borrowing from the town merchants. You can work as a law clerk when a real attorney shows up. You can work as an handyman at the hospital when a real doctor arrives. You're going to have to stop reading other people's mail. You can work as a teacher's assistant when a real teacher is hired. You are going to have to stop stealing people's cattle. You can start making amends by digging irrigation ditches. And you have to stop raising poultry in the jail.
What if we refuse? I refuse to be anyone's assistant.
I refuse to dig a ditch.
If you refuse, I'll advise my grandfather to send in a federal marshal to sort things out.
Luther, you're going to make this town come alive.
You can count on it, Julie. We'll rename this town Prescott in honor of my grandfather. When people years from now ask how this territorial capital got its name, don't hesitate to relate this story of redemption and progress.
Redemption in progress. Oh, Luther.
Julie. I want to say thank you to Rebecca and Lydia Stahl. Would the girls want to come out? To Cecil, Bone Bright, back in our sound booth. Paul Moyer on camera. He's somewhere, Rob. Oh, he's right here.
rich, and so I'm saying thank you to you all with Caribou gift cards again this year. It would take me forever to list all of the things that you guys do to make this happen. I think that I don't even really know all of the things that you do to make this happen. I just know that you cue kids at rehearsals, you run lines at home, you feed the kids, you help hang artwork, you let me bounce crazy ideas off of you. And then that's not to mention all the other little tasks that they do. They regularly are asking, Mindy, what do you need? Is there anything I can do? So I'm so thankful to you guys. So thank you so much for making this happen. We really appreciate you. So thank you. I also want to say thank you to a few people at Central. Sharon Olson isn't here tonight, but she is a secretary here, and she just helps us make it possible here. We really appreciate her. Rod and Todd Erickson also helped us clear the stage. I don't think either one of them is here tonight, but we appreciate them. Along with Cecil, who helps us get all of the wires in place so we don't wreck anything. Dennis Anderson, I'm not sure if he's in the room, but we really appreciate him. He kind of cleans up after us. And also Joanna Schneider, are you in here? Can you come here, please? Joanna stepped in. I don't know if she got roped in or not. You'll have to ask Sarah Balk that. But she got invited to help us with our hair and makeup. And she has done all these lovely hair creations. And just in general, the Central Baptists for letting us have our play here. And speaking of that, I just want to say thank you to Pastor Joel, who happens to be my husband. A lot of craziness for 3 months when we were in the middle of this. And my children, I just want to publicly thank you because you've been amazing in theater school the last few months and have helped so much with props and costumes. They really have been a huge help to me, and I'm grateful to them. Thank you for coming. We have
one more very important thank you. I really don't have the words to express how thankful the cast and crew of In Tumbleweed is for all you've done in directing us and helping us, and even when you were really trying your patience and goofing off backstage and forgetting our lines, you were always so patient, and I just want to say thank you on the behalf of everyone in In Tumbleweed.
This is kind of a heartbeat of mine, so I'm thankful to all the families for being willing to enter into this craziness, which it really is. And thank you for entering into our craziness tonight. We're so glad that you're here. We hope that you'll stay around. We have refreshments just over here in the garden room, and while you're out there, please take a minute to enjoy the artwork that the students have put together representing the play. You'll also find on your way out and on the refreshment table some donation boxes. We as families pay for all the costs of this, ranging from purchasing of scripts to performance rights to costumes to set stuff. And if you have an ability to help us defray some of those costs, that'd be great. There are donation boxes back there. But please hang around and join us for some root beer and cookies. And again, thank you so much for coming.
I'm back in the saddle again, out where a friend is a friend, where the longhorn cattle feed on the lowly Jimson weed. I'm back in the saddle again.
Move 'em on, hit 'em up, move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, cut 'em out, ride 'em in.